everyone, welcome to the Embrace podcast. Tonight we're doing it a bit differently in that we're also filming. So if you want to watch us rather than just listening, you can find this video on our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel. So tonight we're going to have a bit of fun. We're going to be talking about a topic that's close to all of our hearts, literally being our bodies. We're talking about bodies bouncing back after we've had babies. So all four of us have had babies. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Wow.
8. That's a lot of babies. Where are the babies tonight? They are not here.
No, cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Shana, you got one. We'll take it. Okay. So we're cheering to Mom's Night Out. It's a Mom's Night Out. We're talking about our bodies bouncing back. So before we get into the topic, I want to introduce you to the 3 fabulous mamas. We've got Rumbi.
Hi.
We've got Sibongile.
Hello.
And we've got Shana.
Hi.
Okay, so I'm going to start with something before we get into the topic. We're going to have it's a moment of confession. We are away from our children, and I think society would consider us to be pretty good moms, but we're also honest moms. So we're going to have a mom confession moment. So I want you to complete the sentence. I'm going to go around. So Rumbi, you get to go first.
Oh, good.
Okay, so complete the
So
sentence.
exciting.
I'm a good mom, but ...
I'm a good mom, but my son regularly eats cereal for dinner. And when I say cereal, I mean like Cheerios. Good. You've been there.
I've not introduced our kids to Cheerios.
Yeah, me too.
Is that a
I'm
thing?
on boats.
The Cheerios that you get in South Africa are very sugary. The Cheerios that you get in America, I'm a Cheerios connoisseur. The Cheerios that you get in America are not as sugary.
Okay.
So there's nothing I can do about it. He just likes them, and sometimes he just won't eat anything but Cheerios.
Okay, well, no shame. There is no shame. Sibongile, what's yours?
I'm a good mom, but my children refer to me as the Incredible Hulk because of my bad temper and how I, as they call it, turn.
Do you want to elaborate? When did you last turn, Sibongile?
I turn weekly, so that's when mom is no longer mom, and she's Hulk. She's horrible, and she speaks in a demonic voice. It's 8 octaves or whatever they call it, lower than my natural voice.
Can you give us a demonstration?
That's like,
Get to your room now.
it's not really, it's not really mean, I mean, to be honest.
Weekly is good though. At least every 3 days.
Weekly? Is it my turn?
Shana, what's yours?
I'm a good mom, but I drink a lot off camera. This is deceiving.
You're the one in the water.
And according to my Facebook status today, I love Mondays because my children are gone. Like at school, but they come back. But during the day, it's a good time. It doesn't matter where I'm going.
Okay, Mondays, like you get to hold the coffee cup back with your 2 hands again in the morning.
Without someone saying, can I have a little?
Exactly.
Was it a share?
Yeah.
I hate the sharing. I do. I don't like sharing.
Everything.
You have to pretend that you have to like sharing, but you actually hate sharing. You're like, it's all sharing is caring. It's not. I don't want to share my food.
With you.
You don't.
Ever.
Just eat your Cheerios.
Okay, I'm a good mom, but my youngest son is currently potty training, and he's doing really, really well. Okay, he hasn't mastered going to the loo for his number 2 bowel movement, so I have literally thrown away 3 of his favorite pairs of underpants that I know he's going to ask me for later in the week. He's going to ask where the Paw Patrol ones are. I can't clean them, Shana. There are things that happen in that underwear. It's not a mess. Yesterday, I scraped. I'm like, and I'm trying to be encouraging because it's a big deal. He's potty training, and I'm really proud of him. So I'm like, okay, it's okay. Don't worry. You still went to the toilet like a big boy. And I'm like scraping off his underwear, and it's all kind of like, it's not nappy. It's not unfolded. It's coming. It's coming down. And it's coming down. It's like, Mommy, I was like, and then yesterday he was like, Mommy, where are you gonna put my underpants? And I'm like, Mommy's gonna just wash them later. But I just threw them straight in the bin.
I'm the same one.
I know, but those ones were expensive because those name branded undies are like flippin' expensive. I bought the Paw Patrol undies so that he would potty train.
Yeah.
I didn't quite anticipate it being so much partying.
I know cheap places you can get them. I'll tell you the brand name after when we're done.
Some knockoff Paw Patrol.
It's not like Rubble.
Like-
It's like Hubble.
Hubble. Claw Patrol.
Patrol.
You know, like the Calvin Klein.
So tonight we're gonna park the conversation about precious children because let's be honest, we do talk about them a lot. They are adorable. I have seen photos or met all of our children, and they are delicious. But we're gonna talk about the process of having them and what it did to our bodies. Okay, so let's rate our bodies. Your own opinion. There are no right and wrong answers. What you felt about your body, 1 to 10, prior to having children, and what you feel about it now. Rumbi, what do you think?
1 to 10 prior to having children, it was maybe a 6 at a push. I went to boarding school, so at boarding school it was a straight 8. But after my son, I would say maybe, oh gosh, on a good day, a 5.5.
That's okay.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Sibongile.
Yeah. So before kids, I was happy as an 8. I would even say, like, I think I've always had some sort of weird body dysmorphia. I mean, if looking back in retrospect, I'm a full-on 10. I mean, that's a body.
You are
but
the
now,
full package.
now I'm like, why didn't I appreciate being that 10 then? Then I had so many issues about myself. So, then, I would have said, I'd say, 8, I'd have room for improvement. But, after children, like I felt low. I felt like a 5, and a good day a 6. On a really good day, a stretch at a 7. And that's all mental stuff that I'm pushing for that 7. But yeah, it's been a very hard journey for me as well.
I saw a picture of myself about 2 days ago, and I showed my husband. It's myself from maybe standard 9. I don't know what grade it is. And he's asked me, "Who's that?" And I said, just
Hush, babes.
go inside. Because I was thin and my hair was long. And besides my body bouncing back, your hair also goes. No? Everything goes. And I lost teeth. These are not real. Like, everything is just, it's gone.
No one talks about the teeth.
No, they are That's a whole mouth. Like, I can't chew with my big teeth. Like, it's gone.
I bit into a piece of cheese and my tooth broke. No, seriously.
No,
and
a piece
a piece
of cheese.
of cheese. And I remember going to my husband and being like, I think my tooth fell out. I was chewing on this cheese and something hard was in it. And I was like, oh, this is gross. Pick and pay. What is this? It was my tooth.
My goodness. There is that thing about demineralizing of teeth that no one tells you about that.
Yeah.
I never knew. With each child, I lost at least 1.5 teeth. One would fall out and the other one would rot. It's
There's
just,
like no more children.
there's nothing.
You're
These
not
are,
teeth spare.
I'm done. But I looked at this picture and I was like, oh, wow. And in high school, I thought I was fat.
Exactly.
I thought I was
You don't
gross.
appreciate it.
I was
Because
super thin.
you constantly have these mental ideas of what you're supposed to
What
look
you're supposed to look like, because I wasn't one of the hot girls, and there were these thin athletic chicks, and I was just like, okay, not me. And I looked back and I was like, wow, you should have been confident. And then I had my first baby, and because I had such a bad relationship with food, because I got obese in that pregnancy, I weighed 127 when I gave birth. I bounced back very quickly because I was 21. And then I had my second baby at 25, and I bounced back fairly quickly again, but I forced myself. So, but unhealthily, there were laxatives and they were running and not eating. And everybody does it. Don't look at me like nobody drinks Herbalife. And then when I got
What's
to
Herbalife?
and then I got to this baby and I was just like, I don't want to. Like, I'm now eating better, but it just doesn't look like it's inside there.
Here's the thing, and this is like going to be my next point, because I wonder if we're ever going to be really happy. Like, and then if we have to sit around the table in 20 years' time, there is a chance, unless you've been really good and consistent, that we might be even softer and rounder and bigger. And we'll be going, oh my gosh, remember when we had that mom chat in 2018 and we were like, oh, I would love to go back there, because I had the exact same thing. I always thought I was fat. It's just a constant. And when I look back at like my photos in my varsity years, even, my wedding photos, which were 9 years ago now, I was like, oh my goodness, I would do anything to go back, to be able to fit into that wedding dress. It like sits in my mother's cupboard. It haunts me. I'm like, there's no way. You'd have to literally like slice me off with like some sort of like carving knife to be able to squish me back into that dress.
I know.
And so I don't know. Part of me though, and I don't know about you guys, but there is something about like, well, it's a body of a mom who had a child, you know? So I'm like, there's a justification around, it's my mom bod, which does give me, it's not like I'm not happy with it. I wish I was. I really wish I was. And I have a friend who is like she's speaking to the whole body positive movement at the moment. And she's amazing. She's like, I'm bigger than I ever was, but I'm happier, I'm healthier, I love my body. I wish I could say that. The reality is, if I could click my fingers and lose 20 kgs, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Definitely.
I don't know if I would lose weight necessarily, because I think when you're shorter, you carry your weight differently. But I think what I miss is just like the freedom and the flexibility. Like there were things that I could
do absolutely.
There are things I could do and things I could wear.
It didn't make you feel uncomfortable.
Exactly. And it feels like my body is now kind of like there's a stomach that moms get, and almost every mother has it. And it's not necessarily that diastasis recti where the muscles separate, but there's I spot myself doing it now. I'll be driving in the car and I look at women and I was like, she had a baby, because I can see that little, that little divot that develops. And I'm just like, I will never not have that. And my, that dark line that you get, mine has never gone away.
Oh, wow.
And how long is it?
Yeah, he's 3. He's 3 and a bit now, and he's not potty trained either.
It's okay. No
but
shame.
but
Give me
yeah,
some Claw Patrol underpants. she can try.
but yeah, I just am like, I just miss
freedom.
Yeah, I miss freedom, and also like I don't know about you guys, but I get phantom. I get phantom kicks still. It's been 3 years and I get phantom kicks. They are creep me out.
I do too, but I think it's gas.
I get a lot of it.
I legitimately think I'm like, why there's something like that? I think it's actually just gas.
Maybe it's the cheese. I need to look into the kind of cheese that I'm buying. What is happening?
Oh, man. Okay, so why? Okay, it's not just the 4 of us, right? There are women around the world who want to bounce back. And I don't think we just came up with this concept out of the sky. I mean, it's perpetuated in the media. And obviously we're moms living in South Africa, but we're definitely influenced by what comes from the West. I mean, and you have pictures that started off, like, I'm going to, as the sort of vanilla thriller representative of the group here. It definitely started off being a white woman's kind of goal, the thin, blonde model mom, and we had a bunch of those. Every actress that was pregnant, came back just looking beautiful. But then you've got like Beyonce, who did that incredible picture with her twins, looking like really good. Okay, she's since come out and said that how difficult that period was. I was like, thank goodness for your honesty, Beyonce. Could have done with that a little while ago, but But now I'm looking at South African celebrities, who are not, white, black celebrity moms who are kind of coming back with these bodies that are like 2 weeks post-partum Instagram shot. Look at my tummy, look at my belly. So it feels like it's no longer just a Western thing. It's everywhere. Why is that? Why are we obsessed with looking like we didn't have children?
That's a very good question. I don't even have an answer at the end for you, but I do know I feel that way. I feel like earlier on you were talking about it's a mom body. Somebody said to me in the week, and she meant well, she wasn't being rude or anything, but she said to me, "You're looking good." And I said, okay, thank you. I'll take it. And she said, she didn't have to add, but she added, 3 kids. I mean, it's like, that kind of good.
I think it's like, firstly, an obsession with, like you're saying, a lot of Western things and Western culture, but also just an obsession of keeping up with the Joneses, like what other people are doing, how other people look. And it's sad because I fell into the same trap after my son. Like you actually paralyze yourself from enjoying a baby because you're constantly worried about, oh, if I step outside, then the people who used to know me when I was at my fittest and at my most sexy are going to think, oh, what happened? You had a baby. That's what happened. You didn't let go. You didn't anything. You gave birth. You gave birth to a human being. You're looking after it. You're amazing. Your body's done these amazing things. And I think that we constantly compare ourselves with either people who genetically just quickly bounced back and got their snapback and they didn't do anything particularly about it or try to do it, or we're comparing ourselves with people who did work incredibly hard to do it. And kudos to them for doing it, but not everyone has that energy. Not everyone has that drive straight after having a baby. And
all that capacity.
All that
The
capacity.
personal trainer.
Everything.
The fit chef bringing
Exactly.
you the meals. I was like, let me just what can I do the
Exactly.
quickest? I can eat a packet of crisps really quickly.
fast.
So that's I can just
Exactly.
get to that. So I'm gonna just eat that.
And also, I'm comfortable. I'm in my home. I'm with my baby. I'm having visitors. I'd love to have some cake and tea. I want to do. I want to enjoy this time. And instead, everyone's this obsession of, okay, as soon as 6 weeks, as soon as I get my my C-section, go ahead to go to the gym. I'm back at the gym. And as I say, I fell into the trap the first time, and the second time I just thought, who am I doing it for? Take your time. Like, just enjoy the baby. Just enjoy yourself. And it's very sad because I missed out on a lot of moments with my son. Because you were so worried about going outside.
On that, for me, and it was never about the weight, because I was one of those people who lost weight while I was pregnant. Don't hate me. Shayna's looking at me like if I kill her right now on camera. But it was never that. It was, even when I look at pictures of me post my son, and there's this picture of me that is, it's 2 weeks post, and I'm wearing these like purple pregnancy leggings. I am the skinniest I've ever been in my life, the skinniest. And I look into that young woman's eyes. I was so unhappy. I was desperately unhappy. I was 2 weeks out. I was fully regretting. I went through like a period of deep regret. Like, what have I done to my life? Like, how am I ever going to feel like me again? And that was a very important thing for me, because my independence is it's a big part of who I am, and my, my hard-won independence. And now I had this little thing attached to me all the time, and he fed all the time, and I just wanted to go back to my life. Like, I just wanted to be able to take a shower without hearing. And the thing is, what you realize is that it doesn't matter if someone takes the baby for you. No. It doesn't matter. They're always on your mind. And I remember that feeling of being like, oh my God, what have I done? And that's what I think partly where it comes from, is that we want to get back to who we were. Like, I can still be me. Yes. I can still live the life that I lived before.
That's not sorry, I'm interrupting, but that's not just a one baby thing. No. Every time you have a new baby, you think, why am I doing this again?
Did I have amnesia the first time?
Did I forget? This sucked. No, it gets worse. It incrementally grows. Now.
Oh, good.
Now you have 3 babies. Yeah. And they all don't stop wanting you. So now, this is me, guys. I have an 8-year-old, 4-year-old, and a newborn, and they each want a different part of me. It's like, it doesn't go away. That regret period, I had it, and I'm married with 3 children. I had that 2 weeks ago. You get up. I don't want to right now. I just don't.
I'm human.
I don't want to do this.
I don't want to do Martha today.
I love her.
I don't want to do it.
She's cute.
She's really cute. She's really
Just
cute.
you go. Luckily my husband does, but I mean, every mom feels like that.
Yeah. I'm glad that you're saying that, because even when I talk about it amongst very dear friends, and it's only when I started working for Embrace that I started talking about it publicly. I know, right?
It's the Embrace effect. It's public.
But now I'm sharing it with all of you. And my husband, hi. Oh no, he does know. But like, I still feel a great sense of shame when I speak about it. Like, I should you know, because it's that push-pull of like, I should really be enjoying this time. My son he was the cutest child you've ever seen. He still is. And I feel a sense of shame that I felt, that regret that I felt that. And even now when he's 3, you know, sometimes he'll want to play. He'll want to play ninjas or whatever. And I'm just like, I'm not good at playing. I'm awkward. I'm like, I can't pretend. He'll be like, there's a dinosaur over there. And I'll be like, really? What? Like, no, dinosaurs are extinct.
No, man.
I just don't have the imagination to go back there. And I feel the sense of shame that it's such hard work. I mean, I do play with him and he loves it when I do. But it's hard.
It's effort.
And that is why you make friends with other people with kids and they can all play dinosaurs together. But I wonder whether that's part of it. It's that sort of longing for that knee-jerk moment of, oh, what have I done? And it's different. It comes in different waves and different forms and different in levels of intensity depending on where you are in the stage of life with your children. But I wonder if that is represented in our pre-baby bodies. And so we look back at the pictures and with that sort of memory of the carefree days. But I wonder, like, who's holding these standards to us? Is it our partners? Is it our mothers? Is it other women in our lives?
I think it's a combination. It's definitely a combination. And I must say that for me, it's me. I think I'm holding myself to that standard. But there are outside factors, but the most important one is me. I want to
And the
feel...
strongest pull is yourself.
Yeah.
That's
I
how
want to feel
as
like
well.
I look good and I'm confident enough to go.
Yeah, because I also feel like it does tie in with motherhood, because I feel like a confident mother is a better mother. A mother who is not worried about bending down because she looks chubs is a better mother, because she can just get involved and just pick up your kid and not feel like, oh, my genes, oh, my this, oh, my that. And you just let go and you're a lot more free. And I think that you're right in terms of you look back and you go, I miss that person, not just because of the physical. Obviously, they look amazing and, you know, that's the old you. But you miss that person because they didn't worry about the silliness of this frivolous, like, oh, I must have a this on and now I must have a jacket. Now it's too much. You're already busy as a mom. Now you look extra busy because you have some weight. So it's just like this combination of this busyness. And you're almost judging yourself because no one else is seeing that. But in your mind, you're like, I must look like a busy ass person.
But as long as I look like I'm busy, but I have it together. Like I can see myself at creche in the morning with the car seats and the cozies and telling Jonas, carry the bags, Jonas. Like now I know I look disheveled.
And then you look disheveled. And in your mind, you're like, if I was just slim. Because they do, those fitness bunny moms, and they come out the gym with their tights and their six packs. You're like, wow, that's cute. And then you're like, she's just wearing a trench coat and nothing else. I'll go try that. Then you look ridiculous. You're like, it didn't work because I'm not thin. Just like, it's not the same.
Okay, but is it a size thing or is it a confidence thing? Because
It's
there are bigger
confidence.
women
No, it's
who hold
confidence.
themselves exquisitely.
Absolutely.
It's not a size thing. I think it's like
confidence.
how you feel in your body.
But I think
right?
also, like you were saying now, Julie, you were saying who's holding these standards to you? Is it your husband? It's none of those factors. But like one thing that I can totally respect my husband for saying one day is he doesn't care about the weight or anything. What he cares about is the fact that my mental state has changed so much. He met a confident woman, he married a confident woman, and now the confident woman is gone. And that's an effect of the body. So I can completely respect someone saying that, to say, do what you have to do to feel happy, because I don't want to be married to someone who's unhappy with themselves. So just get happy. So I get that it's not about the partners or the pressure of that. It's the pressure of you going, I need to get this shit together because I'm actually losing an essence of who I am.
Can we take a moment, because we're doing this podcast as mothers raising children in South Africa, and the country's made up of many different cultures and belief systems. Is there a pressure in different cultures, and obviously the four of us all represent sort of different cultural groups within the country? Is there a, so for example, if I think about conservative, I mean, I don't think white culture's a thing, but it's a thing.
It's a thing.
But if I think about my family experience, there's sort of a front-facing politeness, like a super conservative. So I don't think anyone would necessarily say to me, you're a bit chubby. Maybe my immediate family might, if I'd said something, go, you have maybe picked up a few kilos, they're probably thinking it, and I can kind of see it in looks, but there is this politeness that comes into play. So I'm going to be honest, I mean, we were talking before we did this, and you know, both Shana and Sibongile had said that, you know, there were other people who had been like, you're looking a bit chubs.
No, the correct term is ugainile. Every Xhosa girl has heard in her life.
And that is like,
After 1 month of having a child, and then your auntie says, ugainile. And you're like, ugainile. I'm like, obviously, ugainile had a child. And you want to literally throttle an old woman. And you're like, I can't get into this conversation with a granny. So I'm just going to be respectful and keep quiet. But it's you just go,
points to the
polite.
child.
Yeah, like, ta-da, exhibit A, here's my vagina, it's a child, I gave birth to it. What are you supposed to say? Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. And that pressure, and again, a lot of our family members aren't saying it negatively. They genuinely think that saying that means you look happy and you're full of life. But it's so uncomfortable for someone to constantly mention your weight every time you meet them.
Is that because of the influence of Western culture in the country, though? Do you think if you were born like 100 years ago and someone said that to you, you'd just be like, oh, yes?
I don't think so, to be honest.
I think
it's unnecessary to say.
I think it's because once you've had a baby, once you're pregnant, it starts. Then once you've had a baby, your body is no longer, nobody sees your body as your own. Your body becomes the property of
The state.
just everyone. Well, the state, the medical system, it becomes the property of when the child is born, the child. But people still, you know, people talk about strangers walking up to you and rubbing your belly. People still treat mothers' bodies as if they are theirs. Like when we talk about like public breastfeeding, like you don't get to comment on my body. And it's interesting because it's such an intimate thing, right? Like you said, like this child was conceived in your body, they came out of your vagina maybe. Like it's a very intimate thing for people to just be like, oh, look at you, you gained weight.
It's like, I gained weight and I got 20 stitches. Do you want to know about them?
Exactly. And, you know, basically, like bled for... God. Anyway, so I think that's what it is. I feel like people just don't...
And I think there's also a lot of shaming even of those moms who do snap back quickly, genetically, or whatever it is. Everyone's like, oh, what did she do? Or what? It's like, exactly, or whoever it is. And you get knocked and you're like, why is someone getting knocked for naturally looking amazing again? Like, it's kudos to them. Like, great. I'm so happy for you and all the blessings you've been given. But some of us aren't genetically blessed like that. Like, seriously, like, I'm working at the bottom of the barrel with these genetics. I'm fighting against the fat genes. My daily life is a struggle of those genes, guys. Like, it's genetic. And you're just like, well, you have to just embrace it and, you know, and also just not hate on other moms who do snap back.
Exactly.
Just leave them. Right. Like, they look amazing. Great. That's great for you.
To answer your question earlier, if we were couple of years back, I don't think it would be. I do think it's Western influence. I do think it's magazines. I think social media has a lot to do with it. Because if you look at, and I'm no expert, but this is just from observation, if you look at pictures of women in the 50s and the beauty standards, they are not thin.
No.
They're these chubby, or curvaceous, there we go, women, and they were seen as beautiful, whether they were in bathing suits, no matter what they were wearing. So I don't think it's a new thing.
It's a very new
Can I just say that the women, I mean, I look back at those photos, and those women look better in the clothes that they wore for their bodies. And I swear it's because I'm like trying to get my fat ass into skinny jeans. And the reality is it wasn't made for that. But that is the standard for which women of my age group, you know, that's what we wear. And so it's like, I don't want to be wearing frumpy clothes, but they all kind of wore clothes that didn't look, I don't know, they didn't feel like they looked bigger, but they didn't look out of their body.
They look good. I'm one of those guilty of trying on something fashionable and knowing full well that I'm not gonna wear skinny and a tank top. But you almost feel like you have to, like, let me just try it on, you know. And you stand in the I almost said waiting room, which kind of you stand in the fitting room and you're just like, no.
Why? I don't try clothes on.
I've stopped.
I buy clothes.
The ruffled dress.
I go home.
I don't try. Now I have such a complex about that dress. So for those of you watching at home, I bought myself this beautiful beautiful floral.
No, it was about 5 sizes too big for her because
I thought I was.
Body dysmorphia.
I thought I
What we're doing there.
But it had a lot of drama. It was like, I felt
ruffles for days.
I felt like a flamenco dancer, like I should be.
It was
And
so ridiculous.
She felt her
I
back.
took it back. And the day that I wore it, I had actually gone to the physio in the morning. So I had been wearing workout clothes in the morning because I knew I was going to be doing physio and Pilates and all of that. And so I had not tried this dress on until the morning that I put it on. But I can't. I don't go into fitting rooms. I don't, unless it's a very expensive piece of clothing. Like if I'm going to buy something from YDE, and why even go into YDE? Why would I do that to myself?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
So if I'm going to buy something super expensive, then I will try it on.
Absolutely,
But
now
otherwise,
just grab and go.
just grab and go, or buy online.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sibongile is the queen of buying online. So here's the deal, right? Our bodies are our bodies. And between us, our bodies have birthed how many kids? 8. Did I say 8? 8 children. That's like a lot of work that they've had to do. And I mean, there's not even just the size. I mean, there are actual physical changes. I mean, I think of the stretch marks, the sag, the actual shift in hip size. I was like, I look at some of the belts that I used to wear and I'm like, my rib cage has literally expanded.
And your
Like,
back
it's-
width. Your
Yeah,
back
it's
width,
just
all that sort of
expanded. I have a
stuff.
different bra size. And
size.
it's just not going to be the same. And I mean, I love, the way that, moms try to claim these things, like, their tiger stripes. And some women really look at their tiger stripe stretch marks and feel really empowered. And I kind of wish, that feels like a healthy mentality to have about them because there's not that much you can do about them.
No.
You can shrink your butt, but you can't necessarily lose, your stretch marks. Or the fact that, a friend went up a foot, 1.5 shoe sizes
Me
in
too.
her feet.
My feet are bigger, yeah. I'm size 8 from a 7.
And you can't get them back. You can't skinify your feet. It just is what it is. So how do we get better at, so what is, let's put it this way. What is the mental health solution to this? How should we be viewing our bodies? Is it okay to say, you know what, in 5 years' time, I'm going to do something about certain parts of my body that I'm not happy for my mental health? Or should we be going with the line, our bodies are our bodies, they've birthed these children, they are what they are, we should learn to accept them and feel good in our new stage? What is the answer?
I think for me personally, but this is my new mantra, as long as I'm healthy. So eating too much junk food is going to make me fat, that's not healthy. Starving myself is going to make me skinny, but that's not healthy. I think if you are healthy, physically, mentally it comes with it. And that's from somebody I've been suffering with mental illness for years. And when I change my diet, I do feel better. And I think you'll start accepting yourself. You're like, I'm making better choices. I'm not eating all the chips. So I'm doing something towards, When it comes to the mommy body specifically, I do think it should be accepted, but that shouldn't be a reason to let yourself go. And I don't mean let yourself go for other people, I mean for you. Because if I eat hot chips every day for the next month, I'm not going to feel good. Whether other people notice I'm fat or not.
Yeah.
So it's a you thing. I do think...
I've got what's called premenstrual dysphoric disorder, which means like raging, not just like raging PMS, but like 2 weeks out of every month, I'm exhausted, can't get out of bed, and then the rages as well. So that's actually given me a different, and I think also because I went through fertility treatments when we were trying to get pregnant with my son, my relationship with my body is also, it's a lot more relaxed. As I was thinking about this podcast and what I was going to say, there are things that I just don't mind anymore because my body is a lot more broken than I thought it was. I took it for granted a lot of the time. And there's things that I found out through the fertility process that, oh, wait, actually, this has been going on. And, my ovaries have been working double time as well because of, diabetes that runs in my family and, my hormones. My body basically has like an allergic reaction to my hormones. It has an overreaction. Oh, wow. So where some women, you'll ovulate and you might feel a twinge or two, there were times when I literally couldn't walk because I was ovulating, because my body just goes into hyperdrive. And since then, I've just, I'm doing what I need to make sure that I'm not in pain. It involves the pill and synthetic hormones and all of that. But I think I'm also just kind of like, well, I'm here and my body has done a heck of a lot, and I haven't always been very kind to it, and it delivered me this healthy, vibrant child. And so that's kind of the space I'm in. But I do think that people should be able, like, feminism. We talk about feminism, but for me, feminism is about women being able to make, to have as many choices available to them. And if some of that means you've got to have surgery to feel whole again, then you've got to do that. I have I have two friends who had to go through breast reduction surgery. Neither of them has had babies, but they were both living lives of pain, of discomfort, and the hurdles that they had to jump through to convince doctors to do this for them. But that's what you need to feel whole.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think my thoughts on it, for now, and just because of the person that I am, and I do enjoy fitness, and I do like to train, and I do like the idea of having a very healthy and fit body, is that Rome wasn't built in a day. We all know that. It takes time, discipline, consistency, things like that. And if you want to reach your goals, go for it. But just don't rush yourself in a panicked frenzy for other people. Be realistic with your goals. And that's why I absolutely adore Serena Williams so much. She's the greatest athlete of all time, and she's done Wimbledon, the US Open, all these amazing things. And then after having a child, she explained her difficulties, and she explained to the world that she's struggling with motherhood, and she's had these problems, complications physically, and she didn't get where she wanted to be this year, but you can do it again. You will build to that again. And that's how I feel as well. Like, before kids, I ran the 2 oceans twice. I tried to do it again after I had my second daughter. My second child, she was 9 months old. I ran it. I didn't finish in time, but I finished. I did another 21. I'm just like, you know what? I still ran it. I can still continue to get to these fitness goals that I want to get to. These children are only 2 years old. Like, I've got an entire life of fitness. I've got an entire life of if I want to be that MILF at the at the soccer mom with the six-pack, I have a whole life to get there. You don't have to rush it. And I think that's how I've changed my thinking now, that it's not about how you look directly after you have a baby, but it's about holistically, how do you feel? And your goals are attainable if you want to do that. And that's where I'm going, because I am into that stuff, and I want to be there because I like being healthy and fit, and I enjoy physical activity. So it just doesn't mean that it's going to happen overnight, because your body has birthed these amazing children. So for some people it goes quick, and for others it doesn't. And for those who have to work harder, then you work harder.
Absolutely. And I think there's a real thing for moms, specifically moms in the first few years. We talk about moms in the trenches of motherhood. To give themselves a little bit of grace. And to say that it's, to be kind, that we're busy, you're raising your children in the early years where it is all consuming. It's not that I don't think motherhood gets any easier, and I've spoken to moms of older children, but there is less of a demand on your body. You're not on your carrying it. It's healing. When doctors talk about how long that postpartum healing phase is, it is much longer than we think it is. It's like
10 years.
10 years. It's like to really get back to your body.
I wanted to say, actually, on what both of you were saying, besides what you look like, my body is different and I don't know how personal this podcast can be, and you're probably going to cut this out.
It can be very personal.
I need to go pee quicker than I need to go pee before. Like, there are so many things happening. I physically can't do certain stuff. We're talking hemorrhoids, bladder control. Don't sneeze if you're not ready. Like, it's
Gird your loins.
like I had this
Tighten your claw control.
it's bad, nah? Like, so I wrote this in my blog, so I guess it's not too personal for me, but I since giving birth, hemorrhage is a thing that happens in your pregnancy that doesn't necessarily go away in the first 5 years of So essentially, I was telling my readers today, and now I realize how much I overshare. So now I have a newborn, and I'm stressed out, and it's nighttime, and I have to explain to my husband, Anusol. Go to the chemist, get Anusol, get me Epsom salt. My body doesn't do the same thing anymore. I'm holding the baby and I'm trying to open this Chinese puzzle Anusol with my fucking nose, excuse me, with my teeth, and it has now melted across my fingers. There's no more, and they only give you 12. And you're like, I'm gonna do this again, and you like wipe it, and you like the other one, and she's going, I know, and you're like, so, and my body, and 2 years ago, this was not the issue for me. This is not the issue. I could hold my baby for days.
You didn't even know what hemorrhoids was 10 years ago, right?
And now I'm just like, and then she falls asleep. This was literally last night. And she falls asleep like 4 o'clock, and 5 o'clock I must be up with the children, and we fall asleep together. And I'm now successfully on hemorrhoid, and I'm on them. And it's number 10. You know, like, we got there. And as I fall asleep with us, okay, we ready. The day has started, and I'm exhausted. And
all over again.
and I just have pain. My knees were sore. Like, there was no correlation. And I was just like, oh gosh. So your body, besides looking good, I want to feel like I felt before I gave birth.
Feeling, I promise you, it's a feeling that you miss.
By 12 o'clock noon, I need to take a nap. I'm tired. I can't focus anymore.
You can't focus. So how are you supposed to, within that focus, go to the gym and do this and carry on with that? It's very hard. And, you know, if you can mentally do it, do it.
Yeah. So, ladies, the night is well and truly on its way, and we have to get back to those little munchkins that we love so much.
Yay.
And so, to wrap this up, I want to say to anyone who's listening tonight, or whenever this podcast goes live, what's one word of encouragement to a mom who is either pregnant and experiencing all those changes that we didn't even get into tonight, but that's a whole other minefield. We'll do another podcast on pregnancy. You're all invited back because you're fabulous. But what is, you know, to the mom who's pregnant, to the mom who's sitting maybe 1, 2, 5, 10 years postpartum and feeling like, you know, is she ever going to feel like herself? If you have to speak to her tonight, if she's listening, what would you say to her?
I know it's cliche, but you honestly are not alone. Every single mommy I've spoken to is going through some sort of the same thing. Doesn't matter what degree it is, how old your children are. Even my mom, like, we're very close now that I have kids. And she's like, I still worry about you. She still phones me every day, you know, like, and I'm sure that there are thousands of moms that are still phoning their 30-year-old children being like, oh, you're right, you know. So I just feel like you're not alone.
Absolutely. I think mine would be that your children don't see what you see. They just see mom. They see this amazing person who they love to bits, who plays with them, who is beautiful. I don't know how many times my son tells me per day how beautiful I am. And it's amazing. Honestly, you wake up, you are so beautiful, mom. You are so lovely. You're so sweet. And that is exactly who you are. So don't discredit what other people tell you about yourself. You are all those things, and it doesn't matter actually about the physical. Do what you have to do to make yourself feel good and look good if you want to. Do it all. But just remember that the words that other people tell you half the time, they're speaking the truth. Your kids, your husband, all of those people, the positive words, remember them. Because sometimes our little demons in our minds make us think differently.
Ruby?
I think I would say, similar to what Shana said, is you're never alone as a mom. I think one of the most wonderful realizations I've had as a mom, and it's thanks to social media, is that I'm not alone. Yeah. So I posted something the other day, and I can share it with our listeners and viewers, which is basically this gigantic kind of blown up little figure that's trying to fit into a stairwell, and it's way too big, and it says something like me when I try to fit in with other moms. And the response to that has been so overwhelming, and I'm like, hang on, who are we all trying to fit in with? If we're all commenting and being like, I feel this way, then who are we fitting in with? Yeah, we all fit in with each other, clearly. And so it's to never shy away from, I think, saying the difficult things. Like, I just, you know, like, just even having a conversation about post-baby sex. Like, you never know what what other women are feeling, and a lot of the time it's exactly what you are feeling.
Yeah.
And that's been the wonderful thing for me about motherhood, is just how, in a lot of ways, just how like it's like a glue. I've shared things with women who I've known for like 1 month that I have never shared with people who I've known my whole life. Because some people who I've known my whole life don't know what a hemorrhoid is. But I know you know. You know what I mean? Yeah, so don't be afraid to share, because whatever you share, I guarantee you, someone else has experienced it.
Yeah. And I think I would say the same, give yourself some grace. And when you're feeling a moment of feeling low, if you've got it in you, encourage another mom that you know. Because I think I think if we all just were a bit more intentional about encouraging each other, taking that first step, saying, you look really great today. Or, you're such a great mom. It's so obvious. I can see that, you're, whatever it is, it could be something so small. It could be something big, whatever it is. It really makes a difference. It's been the best thing about the sort of motherhood communities that I'm a part of as well. It's to hear that, having other women go, but you know what, Julie? Yes, you do look a bit tired today, but look at what you've done that's made you that tired. You've been attentive to your 2 children, and that's been really hard. And so that perspective is not, actually, I'm going to own feeling tired today. I do feel tired today. I don't look beautiful by the world standards, but I'm doing a good job. I'm trying. I'm present. I'm showing up. Guys, this has been fun. This has been the best way to spend an evening. Yeah? Thank you so much. Thank you so much to you who are listening. It's been a pleasure to share a little bit of our lives and our experiences with you. We'd love to hear from you. So comment wherever you're listening to this podcast, or if you're watching us online. Let us know, what have you felt about your body post-baby? What's been the experience for you? Have you been on a journey of acceptance? How have you done it? Let us know. We'd love to hear your stories, and then to potentially share them with others. And if you've got a story that you want to share on the podcast, message us, because you could potentially join us here at the table for a night of wine and chatter. It's been great. Until next time, we'll see you around. Bye.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Hold on, guys. Are you finished?
No, mine too.